The little princess's dress became a parachute. Once upon a time, in a bright and cheerful kingdom filled with rolling meadows and glittering rivers, there lived a little princess named Lila. She was not like other princesses who only liked sitting in tall towers or wearing crowns all day. Princess Lila had a curious heart and adventurous feet. Every morning, as soon as the golden sun peeked over the castle walls, she would rush out of bed and look for new wonders to discover. What made Lila extra special was her enormous pink dress. It wasn't just any dress, it was fluffy and wide, with many, many layers of silky fabric. The dress rustled and swished wherever she went. Some people thought it looked far too big for a little princess, but Lila loved it.
The bigger the skirt, the more adventures can hide inside it,
she often said. The royal seamstress sometimes shook her head.
Your Highness, this dress is meant for parties, not for climbing trees or running in fields.
But Princess Lila would only giggle.
A dress can be anything if you believe in it.
Chapter 1. A windy afternoon. One sunny afternoon, the castle gardens were extra lively. Birds hopped from branch to branch, and the flowers nodded as if they were telling secrets to the breeze. Lila was chasing butterflies, her giant skirt ballooning behind her like a pink cloud. Suddenly, whoosh! A great gust of wind blew across the garden. It lifted the hem of Lila's dress so high that it puffed up around her like a giant bubble. Lila gasped.
Oh, I feel as if I might float away.
The wind tickled her cheeks, and she laughed until her tummy hurt. The feeling was so curious, like the world was trying to show her something new. That night, as she lay in bed, Lila whispered to her stuffed teddy bear.
Teddy, I think my dress has a secret. I think it wants to fly.
Teddy, of course, didn't answer. But if you looked very closely, you might have seen the tiniest twinkle in his button eyes. Chapter 2. The Idea. The next morning, Lila hurried to the castle library. She wasn't searching for fairy tales this time. She wanted books about flying. She flipped through pages about birds, butterflies, and even kites. Then she found a picture of a big cloth with strings attached, carrying a man through the air. The words underneath read, "Parachute." Lila tapped her chin thoughtfully.
A parachute! It looks just like my skirt.
Her heart began to race with excitement. Could it be possible? Could her dress really work like one of those flying cloths? She made a plan. She would test her theory. But she needed a safe place, not too high and not too low. After much thinking, she decided on the gentle hill behind the castle. Chapter 3. The First Flight. On the hilltop, Lila spread her arms wide. Her skirt fanned out, the fabric shimmering in the sunlight. She felt nervous, but thrilled.
All right, dress. Show me what you can do,
she whispered. She took a deep breath, then skipped down the hill as fast as her little legs would carry her. The wind caught the edges of her skirt. Whoosh! And suddenly, she wasn't just running. She was floating. For a few magical seconds, Lila's feet lifted right off the ground. Her skirt billowed and puffed, carrying her gently downward like the soft wings of a butterfly.
Whee! I'm flying!
She squealed with delight. When she touched the grass again, safe and sound, she rolled onto her back and laughed until tears came to her eyes. She had discovered the truth. Her big, fluffy dress was a parachute. Chapter 4. Secrets and Friends. Lila wanted to tell everyone about her discovery, but she remembered the seamstress's frown and the way grown-ups sometimes said, "That's impossible." So instead, she told only her two closest friends, a stable boy named Milo, who loved tinkering with kites, and her cousin Sophie, who adored drawing maps of imaginary lands. When they heard the secret, their eyes grew wide.
Your dress is a parachute?
Milo asked. Sophie clapped her hands.
That means you can float like a feather. Oh, Lila, do it again, please.
Together, the three children sneaked back to the hill. Milo helped by tying little ribbons to the edges of Lila's skirt so it would catch even more air. Sophie brought a notebook to sketch the adventure. Once again, Lila floated down the hillside, her dress blooming around her like a giant pink flower. Her friends cheered, and she bowed proudly when she landed. From that day on, the hill became their secret runway. Chapter 5. The Wish. Even though floating was wonderful, Lila dreamed of something bigger. At night, she gazed at the stars and whispered,
I wish I could fly higher above the trees, above the towers, maybe even above the clouds.
But how could she? The hill was too small. She needed more wind, more height, and more courage. One blustery morning, the chance finally arrived. The kingdom was preparing for the great summer festival. Colorful balloons bobbed in the air, and flags fluttered from every rooftop. A tall wooden stage had been built in the village square for music and dancing. When Lila saw the stage, her heart leaped.
That's it! That's the height I need.
Chapter 6. The Leap. The festival was full of music, laughter, and the smell of roasted corn. Children played games, jugglers tossed their pins, and dancers spun in circles. Lila climbed onto the stage, her enormous dress trailing behind her. She looked down at the wide crowd, her heart thumping.
Are you ready, dress?
She spread her arms, took a brave step forward and jumped. The air rushed past her, and her skirt blossomed into its fullest, roundest puff. The crowd gasped. For one shining moment, Princess Lila floated like a magical pink balloon drifting above their heads. Children pointed in awe.
She's flying!
Musicians dropped their flutes. Bakers dropped their pies. And then softly, gently, she landed right on her feet. The crowd erupted into cheers.
Hooray for the flying princess!
Lila blushed but bowed proudly. Her secret was no longer a secret at all. Chapter 7. A New Purpose. From that day, Princess Lila became known as the Parachute Princess. She used her floating dress not only for fun, but also for helping others. When a farmer's hat blew into a tree, she floated up to fetch it. When children lost their kites on the castle roof, she drifted down to rescue them. Sometimes, she even delivered letters by air, swooping from one balcony to another. The people loved her dearly, not just because of her amazing parachute dress, but because she always used her gift to bring kindness. Chapter 8. The Storm. One summer evening, a dark storm rolled over the kingdom. Rain pounded, and the wind howled. Suddenly, a cry echoed through the village.
The baker's cat is stuck on the tower.
Everyone looked up in alarm. Indeed, the poor cat had climbed to the very top of the clock tower, trembling against the thunder. The tower was tall and slippery. No ladder could reach it. The villagers worried until Princess Lila stepped forward.
Don't be afraid. My dress and I will save her.
With the storm's wind swirling around her, Lila climbed the tower stairs, heart racing. At the very top, she whispered,
Hold on, dress. We can do this.
She scooped the frightened cat into her arms, then leapt. The wind tugged fiercely, but her parachute dress spread wide, catching the air. Together, Lila and the cat floated safely down, landing gently in the square. The crowd cheered through their tears. The baker hugged his cat, and everyone hugged Lila. She had shown the kingdom that courage was not about being the biggest or strongest, but about using what you have in the bravest way. Chapter 9. Lessons of the Dress. After the storm, Lila's adventures continued. She taught children how to imagine their own parachutes, not dresses, but talents hidden inside them.
To you, your parachute is your maps. You can take people on journeys with your drawings.
she told Sophie.
To you, your parachute is your kites. You can teach others how to build and dream,
She told Milo. The children listened carefully, realizing that everyone had something special to share with the world. And so, the kingdom blossomed not just with flowers and music, but with imagination, bravery, and kindness. Chapter 10. Sweet Dreams. One night, after a day full of flying rescues and playful games, Princess Lila climbed into bed. She patted her parachute dress, now neatly folded on a chair.
Thank you, dress. You've shown me that with courage, kindness, and imagination, we can all soar.
Teddy blinked in the moonlight, and for the first time, it almost looked as though he nodded. Lila smiled, snuggled under her blanket, and drifted into sleep. In her dreams, she floated higher and higher, past the stars, past the moon, wrapped in the soft, loving wings of her magical parachute dress. And somewhere, in the quiet night sky, a new adventure was waiting.